Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today the dismounted Boyar takes on the mounted Teutonic Knight as Sitaux, playing as the Teutons in red, prepares to duke it out with the Viper, playing as the Slavs in green. Now all the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Teutons are a brawler civilization basically designed to take a punch to the face. All of their units from their barracks and their stable get free extra melee armor as the game goes on, +1 in Castle, another +1 in Imperial. Their siege units can be upgraded to get a big +4 melee armor boost, and their towers have extra space to garrison more units inside. By the way, same feature applies to their town centers. Take a look. 0 out of 25 room inside of the inn compared to the usual 0 out of 15. And that means more room for units, and that means more arrows being fired by those units if and when they decide to garrison inside. Now, the Teutons also get murder holes and herbal medicine upgrades for free, so their units can heal super fast inside of their castles while being protected against melee units. And those very same Teutonic castles can actually be upgraded to not only get extra range, but also fire arrows when garrisoned by infantry, which in this game is a pretty darn big deal, since usually it's only villagers and archer units that add arrows. Is somebody gonna come pick up their 2 goats? Sitaux leaving that, I guess, to be lamed, or perhaps just waiting until he pushes all of his gazelles, which appear to be just as stubborn as the deer. Now, on the field of battle, all Teutonic units have a higher resistance to conversion, and if they're hurt, they can be healed by Teutonic monks from twice the distance, which is fantastic news for their unique unit, the Teutonic Knight. This is basically a super powerful but super slow, heavily armored infantry unit that everyone always wants to see, and everyone is almost always disappointed when they don't. Now, to support a big, hungry population, Teutonic farms do clock in at a 40% discount. And speaking of farms and farm features, let's take a look at the Slavs, a civilization that relies on its very powerful melee units. To start with, their infantry, which is already quite strong, can be upgraded to do trample damage, and their unique unit, the Boyar, is a fairly slow, super tanky, powerful cavalry unit that comes with a ridiculous amount of both melee and pierce armor. Now, to support those units on the field of battle against harassment by annoying things like perhaps some ranged units, all Slavic Siege Workshop units come in at a 15% discount, which is fantastic because they have access to basically every single Siege Workshop unit in the game, except for bombard cannons, and those cheaper siege units can be combined with Slavic monks, which automatically move 20% faster than normal to generate a powerful siege monk rush that everyone likes to say, because who doesn't like to say the word smush? Now, Slavic castles can also be upgraded so that 40% of their stone cost is replaced with wood, which does save players about 260 stone per castle after, of course, the initial 650 you plop for your first castle so that you can research the Detonets upgrade. Now, to help grow their military production, both the supplies and gambeson upgrades are free of charge. Their farmers work 15% faster than normal, and every single barracks... No barracks just yet. Okay. I was looking to highlight something in a visual cue, but in any event, every single barracks, every single archery range, every stable, and every siege workshop does provide 5 population space, just like houses, which does free up a little bit of wood, maybe for more farms, maybe for more castles, maybe even for more army supply. Those are the 2 civilizations, both of them fairly similar, very powerful bipedal melee lines. One with trample damage, one with extra armor, super cool, unique units. One basically the same unit. One is on a horse, one is not on a horse. One has cheaper farms. One has more effective farmers who I guess are all on Pervitin or something. And both players are heading up to Feudal Age at the exact same time off the back of the exact same villager count. Looks like they both have loom, should have. And that means not a bad time for us, just like the Viper is doing, to take a look at the bases and where the players have spawned. But first, let's take a look at the attack path. Not exactly an A to B line here with 1, 2, possibly 3 forests, bit of a hill in the center as well. So we'll see who decides to aggress against who, and against rather which side they decide to aggress on, because Sitaux's base can be accessed from the north and the south. The Viper, basically the north and the south as well. Let's take a look at those bases. Sitaux's primary stone, nice and secure to the back. Primary gold, also kind of to the back, not really easily accessible here, although the Viper has, of course, seen this bow tie shaped pile of gold already. primary berries, rather only berries. The pretty little lemon bushes are exposed to the front. Where are your additional resources? Stone very much to the rear, extra gold very much to the front. Forests, one kind of medium-sized forest here, not providing too much coverage. But like I said, we generally tend to see why players are preferring runestones. I was gonna say RuneScape, but that's not. that's something completely different. And by the way, once the stable completes, the population space will jump from 30 to 35 as, oh, the Viper! Oh my goodness, traps himself some militiamen. And there it completes, and the 30 becomes 35. Super cool feature of the Slavs. Which, by the way, is also their team bonus. So, a super cool team bonus feature. And the Viper saves his villager with a bit of a tic-tac-toe. The question is, what's he going to do? Whereas our Teutons already plopped down in archery range. The Viper only has really melee units here. So, in order to engage into these, he's going to have to risk some HP off of some of his own units as the game glitches out. Primary gold. Attempted lame. Attempted lamer gets lamed himself. Where is the primary stone? Secure to the back as well. Extra gold to the front. Extra gold to the back. I like that. Next to also a couple of unclaimed goats. All right, so the player's not really very interested in domesticating the herdables on the map. And then extra stone to the forward position, but not really on the attack path. As the Viper's Slavic scouts shoo away this one Teutonic scout. By the way, for the Teutons, this is as good as it gets. They don't even have light cavalry units. And by the way, first blood drawn by our Slav, who basically makes this entire attack ineffective. He's going to have to waste a little bit of wood, as he already has spent 90 wood plus 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe there was a palisade here as well. So what is that? 105 wood spent by the Viper plus repair costs. Not exactly the Georgians with the cheaper repairs here in order to trap these. And now I'm assuming a archer is going to come out of here. Although maybe if he wants to be a little bit annoying, probably a skirmisher would be better for our Slav. Yeah, there we go. Skirmisher is better. Especially, I mean, I don't think he's seen this army. Maybe he has actually seen the army with those two scouts that are on the other side of the map. And sees that skirmishers basically nullify everything here. Except, of course, the militia, who do have one pierce armor. But they're trapped, so not too sure they're going to be able to do much about anything, to be honest. What's the name of that Shakespeare play? Much Ado About Nothing? That's basically the the life story of this pair of militiamen who are now struggling to break free. But to be fair, a small V victory here for the Viper, because he's had to idle a few villagers to construct this, keep it safe from that one Teutonic scout. And now he's idling another villager just to repair this. This is not the first time, by the way, that he's repairing it. So, like I said, a victory here getting these units from Sitaux, but a small V victory. Back home, Sitaux has used the opportunity to wall off the southern portion of his base. Not too sure this is walled off. Actually, it might be. The house is touching the berries. The archery range is touching the bears. So it could actually be walled off. Choosing not to extend all the way to the forest because I guess the distance is just too long here. And here we go, continuing to shell now with 3 skirmishers. Actually, my apologies, 4 skirmishers. Says he's got, no, what am I? Oh my goodness. I saw the hoe in the hands of the villager, and I thought it was a javelin. I apologize, it was in fact 3 skirmishers, not 4. And now the units are gone, killed by those same skirmishers. Gates are down. And our Teuton says, you know what? My attack to the south didn't really work out. Let me see if what I can accomplish here to the north. You might be able to catch out a villager here. There are no reinforcements anywhere nearby, and this means dead villager for the Viper. So Sitaux gets his first kill of the game, and it is a good one. But he's got to back away. His scouts are at 2/3 of their HP. He's got an army here, but as before, this entire army is essentially nullified by these skirmishers. With attack bonus +3 spearman, +3 archer. And what do you got here? Spearman and archer unit. Now, it kind of sucks that the Viper has to bounce back in a very long distance here because of this thin little forest that's blocking his way. So let's see if Sitaux decides to abuse that. He has seen the forest with the scout that he had here before. Okay. And the Viper with a little bit of one hit policy here, one hit there. He knows that this is open still. And so we'll see what he decides to do. Assuming that he saw Sitaux's units here, he knows Sitaux's not up there. So okay. Sitaux backs away. He is en route to Castle Age any second. There we go. By the time I finish that sentence, the Viper. Ooh, the Viper is nowhere close. He is getting forging right now. Forging for his Slavic scouts. And he is shooing the Teuton away. So the Viper is, whether he knows it or not, whether he suspects it or feels it in his plumes, is doing the right thing. His opponent's heading up to Castle Age. He's got to keep the pressure on Sitaux's side of the map right now while he gathers the resources. I mean, it's hard to gather the resources when you're literally investing in food upgrades. Every single upgrade you get is taking 150 food out of your uptime. That being said, he's got 19 Slavic farmers. Remember, they do work 15% faster than normal. So his ability to catch up, don't ever question the Slavs, just like the Malay with their quicker uptime, don't question the Slavs' ability to quickly generate food. Is this open? Oh, this is actually open. Sitaux realizes that he's been screwed by the Age of Empires optical illusion that seems to get everybody here. Uh-oh, wait a second. He risked it. He went through the TC, and now he's got 2 scouts. There is a very oddly placed lumberjack here. Okay, Sitaux not really making use right now of the army that he has inside the Viper's base, while the Viper himself is trying to bust into Sitaux's base. Farmer is so shocked he just stands still, not knowing what to do. And will the Viper react? He reacts immediately to block those lumberjacks. And now he's in Castle Age. Okay, is Sitaux. The Viper has Castle Age queued behind the villager. I thought, where the hell did those resources disappear to a second ago? Pulls a few of his farmers, not the end of the world. Spearman should be able to shoo this away, if not kill it entirely. If Sitaux's not paying attention, yeah, okay, so he's kind of paying attention. Because his main armed forces are here, and he's got a knight out. He's got 4 more knights training. 2 stables, 4 knights. We are in castle, which means they get free +1 armor. Every other knight would be at a 2+1. Sitaux is at a 2+2, as it looks like one of the scouts did bite the dust to the rear of the Viper's base. We'll have seen that in picture. Although the Viper now has lost a skirmisher of his own, will lose a few more units. Unfortunately for the Teutons, their ability to chase a retreating army is somewhat hampered by the fact that they don't get husbandry. And so as cool as they are, as heavily armored as they are quite slow moving. And these knights, one knight has taken a decent amount of damage. Archers are now crossbows. Sitaux's being annoying, trying to attack the Viper's house, trying to lure maybe some kind of response to the rear as he presses into the front. But the Viper's not falling for it. He's 27 seconds away from the next stage. If only he was the Ethiopians and these spearmen would automatically become pikemen. But you know what? When your opponent just runs his units straight through your long shaft, I don't know that there's really much that you need aside from that attack bonus, which is right now 15, I believe. And Sitaux does it again. Now he's shooing the army away with crossbows. Castle, and what's our Slav doing? Okay, just adding a few more scouts. He does have a huge amount of food, does our Slav. Those farmers are just, oh wow, double whammy. Those farmers are just something completely insanely good. For his part, Sitaux continues to pump out knights here, continue to trying to take down this house. To be fair, he's already got it down to 2/3 of its HP. Viper punishing this overextension. The sign said, do not step on the grass. This is what happens when you step on the grass, and out comes a 15% discounted Scorpion. I'm interested that the Viper looked like he was about to wall off. He's walling off the northern portion of his base. And then you kind of look at the southern central portion of it, and it is completely open. So these gold miners very much at risk. As we saw, he has a secondary gold to the back, a tertiary in the front, but he is not mining either of those additional golds, which means right now the Viper's got no villagers on gold, even though the allocation to the top says 5-4. They are currently walking very sassily into the town center, and another kill for our Teuton. He's racked up 4 villager kills. Sitaux's 10 kills ahead of his opponent. Looks like he got a whole bunch of scouts. Uh-oh. The Viper's army count is down 21 to 9. He's also down 5 villagers. Our Teuton has expanded with 2 extra town centers. Our Slav has an extra near the stone, and he's building an extra one down south. Attack on the house has been abandoned. It looks like the Viper did send some kind of relief up there, but that relief got... Oh, no, my apologies. No, the the relief did its job and relieved the house of its attacker. And so Sitaux did a decent job attacking that, but did we really think a scout was going to take down a house? More and more knights. 9 knights, 10 crossbows. I'm not sure that the Viper's 10 light cavalry units and single scorpion are going to be enough to handle this kind of pressure. Although I would love if Sitaux brought some siege along for the ride here. Is he bringing any villagers forward? No, he's bringing a monk forward as he continues to wall off his base. So he's completely walled off to the west, the south, the east, and the north, because he knows he is facing light cavalry units. Is this inadvertently... I think this is open. Oh, no. Okay, so bit of a hole in the bucket in the Teutons' northern wall off. But if he can keep all the pressure on the Viper, then who cares if there's a bit of a leaky hole. There we go, a 4th TC for our Slav, who is now down 7 villagers. We'll see how long that lasts if he gets more and more town centers. Okay, Mangonel should be able to shoo away some of these crossbows. We'll see how well it does against the knights. Is he building a monastery? No, he's going for a very defensive castle here. Surprised it's this far back. A little surprised the Viper didn't delete this mining camp and put the castle like right here, as opposed to a little bit further back. Although maybe he doesn't have the wood for everything that he wants to do, and so deleting a mining camp not really a top priority right now. Ooh, looks like the Mangonel got a juicy pancake. Looks like 4 scorpions. 4 scorpions indeed. Not too sure what happened to that wall. Not too sure if the Viper deleted it or if Sitaux attacked it with its massive 1 or 2 HP. But the bottom line is that the Mangonel is dead. The scorpion's gonna follow, but he's risking a bunch of these knights. Yeah, ouch. Look at the HP on these knights, below 50%. Back home, he is being shooed away. Has he discovered that it's open here? Not yet. Unless I'm mistaken, there's something behind here, but I think this is pretty open. So let's see what's going on around the map. The Viper's getting shooed away by the much faster... Sorry, much slower knights of his opponent, who... Oh no, is now finding himself chasing inside of the base, and Sitaux's gonna get explored like Dora here. And the Viper sees more and more farms. He sees, let's see, the town center. Yeah, he does. And let's see if he discovers the gap, the opening. Actually, it looks like there's an opening here as well now. For his part, Sitaux has snuck in some units to the rear of the base. He's got some crossbows. We've got some moonwalking boyars. The boyars are out. They're going to pounce on these crossbows like nobody's business. And okay, well, dear quartet of crossbows, it was very nice to know ya. But unfortunately, yeah, that's what happens when you face off against a Teutonic Knight on a horse. And the Viper is now finally getting some villager kills of his own. He's going to surpass, yeah, 8 villager, 9 villager kills to 5. But the knights are here. Remember, they're more armored than normal. Town center's up as well. So both players kind of just nibbling at each other. A little bite here, a little bite there. Kill count 28 to 39. The Viper's taking he was down about 10 kills. Now he's ahead about 10 kills. Getting those villagers here was just absolutely fantastic. Getting that scouting was fantastic. He gets a monk. I am missing all of the action as he gets a monk. Tries to go inside the base. If these scouts had a bit more health, he probably would have stuck around. But because they don't, one knight is enough to shoo those light cavalry units away. Now the boyars... I mean, you're tanky, but I don't know that I can take on 3 times the army count tanky, especially not with some crossbows mixed in. 4 base melee armor is just about as ridiculous as you can get. Viper's gonna get a conversion, right? I said this the other day. I forget if I said it during a video or if I said it during a live stream, but I always seem to think that the RNG is going to be better for the monk than it is for the player who does not want the monk to succeed, which explains why I'm just such an absolute sucker for slot machines, hoping that the RNG will always be in my favor. A pack of boyars. How many do we have here? 11, just one short of a dozen. He's got one somewhere. Monk, light cab. There you are on you're on the home front duty. Oh no! More Teutonic villagers. And this time the TC will not go up, and the Viper, just in the blink of an eye, slaughters more, while Sitaux, he's just in the middle of the map with his army. Doesn't look like they're engaging except for maybe that one monk that we saw earlier. Yeah, okay, he gets the monk. And now he's going to get the relic. So Sitaux at least will take 3 relics to 1. Those are better numbers for the boyars. Not that they really needed them with a castle on the high ground to support. Another crossbow dies. This is just a very interesting, somewhat difficult game to cast with all of these minor engagements all over the map. Both players, I love that they have little exploratory expeditionary forces. Ooh, is Sitaux finally going to get another villager kill here? He's been on 5 villa kills for a long time. Boyar should be enough to take down all of these crossbows. Wait a second. Ooh, if only you were a Teutonic town center, you could garrison 25 villagers. But why did the Viper ungarrison them? And what the hell is this? Always fun to see with the Viper. And all of a sudden, Sitaux gets 11 villager kills. 12 villager kills. 13 villager kills. He evens up the vill kills at 18 apiece. But look at the Teutonic Knight on a horse. Shield glistening in the sun. What's faster, the Boyar or the husbandryless Teutonic Knight? That's Knight with a small K. It is the Boyar, in fact. I mean, it's not every day that the Boyar is faster than your cavalry. Who's getting who? And the Boyar can chase into this. Oh, the Viper just a little bit slow to delete that farm and place a house. What an absolute epic back and forth between these two players. Oh, no! Literally cornered. Is there an escape path here? These poor Teutonic Knights in the Viper. I mean, come on. Come on, Viper. It's okay to take a break sometimes. What an absolute beast mode. And he loses one to a conversion. And the entire Teutonic expeditionary force done, gone. Absolutely rickety wrecked. Holy moly. Elite Boyar's 25 seconds away. Viper's in Imperial. Sitaux's not too far behind. And to be fair, that sacrifice was kind of worth it to keep the Viper pinned back on his side of the map. Why are you not joining the fight? Okay, don't want to fight your former brothers? Because the Viper's army on that side of the map is posing 0 to no threat to the Teuton homeland. And by the time these Boyars, which again are faster than Teutonic Knights, but not that fast on the whole, make it to this side of the map, Sitaux is in 3, 2, 1. He's an Imperial. He's an Imperial, by the way, with 5 more villagers and basically a similar army count. The Viper is housed. Uh-oh. He was housed there for a second. And now our Teuton is starting to pump out some of those pikemen. They do come now in Imperial with 2 extra free melee armor. And it's now Sitaux's turn to get a couple of conversions here. More than a couple. He's up to 4 Boyars. Our Teuton's got 4 freaking Boyars. Gotta keep those units around. Do not chase into a castle. That being said, I'm assuming our Slav has detonates. There it is. So now the castle goes from 650 stone to... Oh, whoa. From 650 to stone to 390 stone and 260 wood. I mean... Hussar much for the Slav? Oh, but look at this. Fantastic spotting here by Sitaux. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe if this was a Frankish knight with extra line of sight. Sitaux, he runs right by this massive, massive military industrial complex with 8 stables in it. The boyars show up to the north. Another villager down. Our Teuton now has halberdiers. They will last a little bit longer with their 2 free melee armors against these boyars. At the same time, Sitau's throwing. I wanted him to keep these boyars around for as long as possible, but he's throwing them around. Will they get reconverted? Okay, no, they do not. Like I said, I'm always optimistic with the RNG. I always expect it to work. And again, no room in the inn for our Slavic villagers who are going to get slaughtered here. That being said, we'll see how long the boy... Oh, again, the Viper prematurely ungarrisons his army, his villagers. The village. It takes a village to raise a baby. It takes a village to kill a boyar. I don't know what the hell is even happening here. They're all hacking and hewing at each other with axes and swords. This is about as peak Age of Empires as you can get. Large men on large horses with large steel armor hacking at each other. Like the World Strongman competition where they give them an axe and they're supposed to chop through a tree as thick as, I don't know what, a telephone pole in 10 seconds. But our Teuton, he's slowly going up to 60 halberdiers. So he is slowing down the pace of the game, right as that is probably the most dangerous thing for him to do. And the reason I say that is because if you look at the mini-map, the Viper controls the map. Oh, more villagers dead here. The Viper 34 vill kills to 25. But look at the mini-map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Slavic castles. And because this Teuton cavalry is not exactly the lightest on its feet, if it runs through those castle zones, it is definitely going to take a bit more damage than any husbandry-loving civilization. Tries to attack into a castle, loses another villager, does the Viper this time. And here they are, Slavic Hussars, murder holes as well. So I don't know, I'm going to pat myself on the back because a year and a half ago, you would probably be very lucky to see murder holes getting researched by pro players maybe once every 20 games. Now Hera does it frequently. Oh no. Hera does it frequently. Now the Viper's doing it. Sitaux didn't have to do it because remember, he's the Teutons. There's Ironclad. For what? Oh, he's going bombard cannons. Okay, so he's going a bit of a Bohemian style army composition here. To be fair, okay. He is absolutely slaughtering the cavalry units of the Slav, whose boyar count is at an 11 still. Looks like he is all over the north here, attacking a mill, attacking villagers. But let's see if our Teuton is pushing in a little bit too much. He's going up to almost 70 halberdiers. And to be fair, if he can keep killing scorpions with halberdiers, throw them away all the live long day. By the way, now this guy will come with 6, I believe. Yeah, 6 melee armor. I love when technologies are kind of unique. I mean, they're all technically unique technologies, but I don't think, unless I'm mistaken, there's any other tech out there that adds melee armor to siege units. I mean, you've got the obviously other ways to make siege tankier, like Fear Celtica, to make it easier to micro, like drill. Or is it drills? I can never remember where the S goes. Nomad, drill, yeoman. They all kind of blend in together after a while. Looks like to the north, Viper needs to unfurl his Trev. There is a counter castle going up. Hussars are trying to get at the bombard cannons, who are trying to get at the scorpions, while the... oh, that's so sour. That's a second siege unit sniped by this castle. Sitau's got to be a bit more careful with how he maneuvers these units. First a mangonel, then a bombard cannon. He is being pushed into the corner of the map, and that is never good. And so you need to be as judicious with your units as possible. The siege to the north has begun. And what an absolute epic move here out of the Viper to position his Trebs in a way that these bombard cannons can absolutely not reach them. Oh no. One BBC falls. A second. Saved perhaps by the melee armor. Remember, Hussar's not exactly the strongest unit, attacking on an 11. And whereas for every other bombard cannon, they would do 9 damage, here they do only 5. But castle is down. This castle is still up, although, hey, wait a second, Sitaux managed to get the Treb. But it looks like the Murderhole's castle got the halberdiers that got the Treb that was defending the Boyars, and mamma mia, what a fun game. What an absolute fun game. I mean, both of these players, in the beginning, this was like a death by 1,000 cuts. They were both just slashing at each other, small little wounds here and there and here and there, like two boxers. One has a bit of a bruised rib, one has a bit of a bruised, I don't know, I'm not a big boxing viewer, but in any event, you know what I mean. They were kind of taking little shots at each other. Kill count was fairly similar. One was a head 10 at one point, the other was a head 10 at the other point. But all of a sudden, the Viper just absolutely takes map control, and as good as Sitaux's army was at denying these Hussar run-bys, because believe me, if this was Hera, if this was Mr. Yo, there would currently be 3 Hussars here, 5 Hussars here, 6 Hussars here, and probably 10 Hussars over here. And it is the Wolof and it is the Halberdier army that has denied that for our Teutons. So fantastic defense out of our Teuton, but unfortunately, like in every game where one player is just basically put into a corner and there's really not much that he can do, there are literally no more resources here for him. Wood is running out, if not already run out. I mean, what's 92 wood? He's got to go over here, which is fair enough. Seems kind of safe, although one Boyar sent in that direction would slaughter everything. To the center, he's, I don't want to say collapsing, because he's still kind of holding this army at bay, and he does have a lot of food in the bank. To the north, he did stop the Treb going up, so Sitaux holding with a small H holding, but ultimately I think he knows that when you cede map control to the Viper, who will now take this gold, I see there's still his tertiary gold to be had, there's more gold to the south. I mean, yeah, the Viper is just gobbling up resources, stone, and there's nothing Sitaux can do about it right now. And I think he kind of sees a few steps ahead and realizes, hey, I'm holding well for now. Out of 7 barracks, would love to see maybe 3 or 4 more barracks, maybe positioned to the north or to the south so they could react a bit better. But I think he realizes that by being pressed into a corner, I don't think I see any precious resources. No stone, no gold. Yeah, all gone. All gone for Sitaux. So no surprise that basically of the 9,000 gold left on the map, the Viper basically controls all of it. And Sitaux realized that. And despite, like I said, holding, despite a few good victories here, getting that Treb, killing a bunch of Scorpions, there's no real future here for the Teuton army. 148 Halberdiers, 93 Hussars, Knights to Boyar. I mean, 61 Boyar is always fun to watch. 23 Heavy Scorpions to Crossbow. Now, the Teutons, as good as Slavic sieges and as discounted as it is, so I don't think they can really compare in terms of production output. Aside from missing siege ram, they have a pretty damn good siege line. The problem is Sitaux doesn't have the time to upgrade anything to anything. I don't think he even has the time to go up to onagers. Who's kidding who? I don't think he had onagers, right? Yeah, he just had basic mangonels. I like the bombard cannon play. I like the ironclad on the bombard cannon play to keep them safe from the Hussar raids. But now he's lost all of those. Where's even his Trebs up to the north? And yeah, decent hold from our Teuton. But unfortunately, just map control is going to be everything. And the Viper is ahead about 10% when it comes to economy. Even though Sitaux does have a bit more relic gold, all of the resources are going here to our Slav. Basically an extra castle's worth of stone with detonets, a little bit extra gold, 5,000 food, and basically identical wood. Conversions 8 is about 5% of the Slavic army became Teuton, so not bad. And by the way, it was a pretty good 8. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of it, at least 4, was Boyars, 10 raisings to 3. And what's the final kill count? Yeah, the Viper has 100 more kills, which is not surprising when your opponent's army is basically this. Basically trash units, and look at their HP. They're down to about half of their HP. Yikes. And the Scorpions with the pass-through damage are basically, they're going to treat these halberdiers like I treat walking into a buffet. They're just hungry, hungry eyes, and they know the massacre that is about to happen. A number of dead chicken nuggets, chicken wings, ribs, and everything else that buffet has to offer. That is how hungry these Scorpions are for these ridiculously weak Halberdiers. And Sitaux knows that he's seated map control. He knows that despite a decent hold here, he cannot keep this up forever. Not against the extra 9,000 gold, not against the extra cheaper, not against the cheaper siege units, the castles that are being felled left, right, and center. And you best believe as much as he can attack this castle, I don't think the Viper is going to let this castle fall, although I don't really see very many villagers nearby. And he is transitioning back to boyars, which I think Sitaux sees with the line of sight. If not with the halberdiers, definitely with the line of sight of the Treb and the barracks. He will see the boyars and realize, okay, oh shit, now it's not just hussars. Now it's the heavier Teutonic knight on a horse. And with that, he decides to tap out, lives to fight another day. And it is the Viper, our Slav in green, who takes the W in a very fun game. Very fun back and forth. Death by 1,000 cuts until the final big cut happens. I don't know why I highlighted the Scorpions. It was pretty much all of this all together. But at the end of the day, as fun as the game is, it's a zero-sum game. Must be a winner, must be a loser. And in this particular matchup, it is the Viper who is victorious. But GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.